Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you guys my favorite types of videos to do, and that is a handbag review or handbag overview. And the handbag in question is in this box right here. So if you guys saw my what I got for my birthday video, you'll know what's inside this box, but I've just put everything back in the box just so I can do a quick unboxing in case you guys haven't seen that video. So I did pick up something from Louis Vuitton, and this was just before the price increase. This bag didn't get impacted that much, but it was still a fair amount. So yeah, I'll get into that in this video, but before we get started, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. If you love handbag reviews, unboxings, anything of that nature, you'll really love it on my channel and it really helps support my channel. So yeah, now let's get into the unboxing so I can give you a closer look at the bag. So it just comes with this gorgeous bow, and I'll just slide it off so I don't ruin the gorgeousness of the bow. So just pop that off, and it is a square magnetic box, a Louis Vuitton box. So just lift that up. And inside is the dust bag, of course, so I'll just take it out. So the latest bag that I recently picked up is the Louis Vuitton Alma BB in the Damier Ebene print. So this gorgeous brown checkered print here. And if you guys aren't aware of the history of the bag, Louis Vuitton actually created this bag just for Coco Chanel, Gabrielle Coco Chanel, back in 1934. Just because she wanted a top handle bag, like a more feminine style bag. So they created this dome shaped bag for her, I think in the larger size, the PM size, which is slightly larger, and in the monogram canvas, so the LV logos everywhere. So they created that bag for her to carry. But then after seeing her wear it and the popularity of it, Louis Vuitton or Coco Chanel agreed to let Louis Vuitton release it to the public to purchase. So yeah, that's how they came out with this style bag, which I think is so beautiful. Like, I just love Chanel and Louis Vuitton. So this is like, if the two had a baby, it would be this. So yeah, this is such an iconic bag, not just because of the history, but also in relation to just like how it looks. It's a very timeless bag, especially with this checkered print here. Like, there's no huge logos. You could definitely wear it to like special occasions. There's no like big gaudy LV logos everywhere. And I just think this is one of the classic pieces in Louis Vuitton's collection with the Speedy and the Neverfull. I think the trio, and I actually have the trio now, which I'm really happy about, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to purchase the Alma, just to complete the trio. I think those three are the true classics to Louis Vuitton. If you guys are just starting out your collection, or if you're just looking at purchasing one of your very first Louis Vuitton handbags, I'll definitely recommend one of the three. With the Alma, I think it's such a feminine style. Like, with the top handle, it's even with like the Speedy top handle, they're very different looks, and I just think this is such a feminine style bag, especially with this gold hardware. I just love the shininess of this gold. So yeah, I'll give you a quick tour of the bag and then I'll dive into more detail about it. So here we've just got the Louis Vuitton in the squares, just two on either side there, and it's identical on the other side. And a good way to determine the front from the back is to look at the stitching along here. So if you just look carefully on the stitching, you'll notice that there is actually like a double stitch. It's very hard to see, you might not be able to see on camera, but in person the stitching goes all the way along. It's all very smooth, just like one stitch that goes all the way around. And then with here, see how there's like, it's slightly deeper, or like it looks a bit darker on camera, but that's because it's actually double stitched, and that's where like they close off the stitching. So that is actually the back of the bag. Also, a good way to determine is like if you're holding it on your left hand, where the made in stamp is. So there's like a little stamp or like engraving on the leather part here. So that says Louis Vuitton Paris, made in France, just there. On the other side, it's plain. So if you're holding it with your left hand, that logo or that stamping should be on the outside. Another way is if you wanted to determine the front from the back, I guess it doesn't really matter because it looks identical either way, but just if you kind of wanted to know front from back, or like determine which one is the back side, you'll notice that inside here, the back pocket, obviously the back pocket is facing the back, so that's a really easy way to determine which side is the back. But yeah, I thought that was really cool with the stitching. Like, at first I was like, how do you even tell like which way to wear it or which is the front and back? But yeah, I thought that was a really cool idea. But yeah, there's other ways you can determine which way is the back. So yeah, as you can see inside, it's got the gorgeous red interior lining. As with all Damier Ebene bags and small leather goods, like they have this gorgeous red interior lining. It's like a textile lining, so it's not leather, but it is still really nice and soft. So as you can see here, we've got a little back pocket and we've got a little tag. So this one here is, I think, a newer version. Like, so this, you can tell it's like a newer Alma because it doesn't have a date code, and also this tag looks slightly different to the tags that Louis Vuitton used to do. It's got like a QR code, so I imagine that this doesn't have a leather date code on it. I can't see it anywhere. If you guys have an older Alma, if you guys can let me know in the comment section below where your date code is. I presume it would have been like in the pocket here, but with this one there's no date pocket, so I think this bag is actually microchipped. So I think they're slowly phasing out putting date codes in bags now and just putting microchips in the newer bags, just so they can stop counterfeit bags being made. So if you want to know the date code of your bag or see if it's authentic, you have to take it into a Louis Vuitton store and actually have like a machine that they can put it under and see where the microchip is and see where it's made and when it was made. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. I've never seen this card before, so yeah, it must be like a new thing. And I've never seen like the QR code. I did try scan the QR code, but it's just more like a care, like instructions about the bag and the materials used. So that was just in that back pocket there. And inside we also have the leather strap. So this is a crossbody and shoulder strap that you can attach to the bag. So the strap here has two little claw clasps here. So it has LV engraved on both of them. So this is very reminiscent of the Eva clutch, the strap on the Eva clutch, how it's just like a standard non-adjustable brown leather strap. And you actually attach it to these little D-ring hooks on the straps here, on the handle, sorry. So you actually attach it to these little D-rings, which I think is really nifty. I just love that little detail to it. You don't just like attach it randomly on the side. There's actually like a spot to attach it, and you attach it diagonally. So it just looks like that. So it's diagonal, and that kind of helps distribute the weight. So it's not all on like the one side where the handle's like pulling up. So inside the rest of the bag, we have a little pouch here. So it says Louis Vuitton. It's super cute. It's kind of like a little jewelry pouch. And inside we have the lock, the gorgeous shiny gold LV lock. So it's got LV engraved on it. And then at the back, it just says Louis Vuitton Paris. And I just think it's so, so beautiful. So with the lock, it comes with a set of keys, and the keys are in this little key clochette here. So this actually hangs on the bag. Like, you can put it onto the bag as kind of like a little decorative piece if you wanted to. So you can just hang it at the front there. So the keys are housed in here, and this is a leather key tag, or like a leather luggage tag, I guess. And it says Louis Vuitton Paris embossed at the bottom there too, and the back is just plain. So in here we have the set of keys. So we've got two keys here, just if you wanted to like keep on elsewhere. I don't imagine I would ever lock this bag just because it's so small. I think it's more for like a decorative piece, like just to have this here, because Louis Vuitton are really known for like their luggage pieces, especially back in 1934. All their bags were like luggage bags. So this was one of the very first handbags that they made. Another thing to note is that with the locking key, it's unique to you. So at the bottom here where the keyhole is, it actually has a number. So this says 663. So that's my identifier number, I guess, for this lock. And you'll see the same engraved number on the actual key there. Hopefully you can see that. It says 663. And same with the second key. So everyone who gets like the Alma, for example, will have a different number or different serial number lock. And that just means that they obviously can't open your bag. If someone had like a 662 key, they couldn't open my lock. So I thought that was really cool, like a really nifty idea. Having like your own unique key just makes it a little bit more special. So that is the little luggage tag or key clochette and the lock. Yeah, that was everything that the Alma BB came with. That's everything inside. Obviously, as you saw, the back pocket and nothing else inside. So the base of it is actually a little bit like squishy, like not squishy, but it just feels a bit hollow. And this was actually something that the sales associate told me that I thought was really interesting, that I wanted to share with you guys as well. I might take this off because it's a bit annoying just hanging there. It's still a bit stiff because I haven't used it that much. I just got it recently, obviously. So after time, this will kind of like warp and shape to like my shoulder and kind of soften up so it won't just be so stiff and like awkward. So a couple of months ago, I went in store just to have a look at the Alma BB to kind of see if it suits my body shape and my style and how I could wear it and kind of where it sits on me. And the sales associate that was helping me then said that the Alma BB is like a very structured bag, and obviously you can kind of tell just by the shape of it, it is a very structured bag, but he said that it won't ever really sag here, just because inside, as you can see, that base there, it actually ends here. Inside here, there's actually nothing there, and that's just to keep its shape. Like, it's purely just to keep the structured shape or the base of the Alma BB, so you don't have to worry about getting a bag organizer or base shaper for this bag, just because it is already a structured bag and there's already that reinforcement there. So even if you were to put a lot of things inside, and even if this base part here on the inside of the bag was to sag a little bit, you won't see that on the outside, just because you do have that kind of give there where there's nothing, it's like hollow, so you won't actually see any sagging. And at the base of the bag, we've also got 2 sets of feet, so 4 little gold feet there that's reinforced, so you don't have to worry about the leather scratching. So yeah, that also just adds to the elegance of this bag. I just, yeah, really love this, and I just wish I purchased this sooner rather than later. If you guys have been on the fence of purchasing the Alma BB, definitely get it now before it goes up even more. I can even picture this, like, in a couple of years, this will be retailing for like 3,000 Australian dollars, and I still think it would still be worth it at $3,000. So for a bag from Louis Vuitton, like, of this nature, of this, like, with this history behind it, with the versatility of it, with the strap, it comes with like the little gold lock and everything, and the little key clochette, I think it's definitely worth it. Even now at retail for 2,500. So I did also want to point out the canvas and the leather on this bag. So with the canvas, I noticed that it's really thick and like kind of like the old school canvas that Louis Vuitton used to make. And I'm not sure if it's just the actual canvas or because it's reinforced with the inside of the bag, but it just feels really well made. And yeah, I just kind of miss this canvas. I did bring my Louis Vuitton mini pochette. As you can see here, the canvas on the mini pochette is actually so soft. It's so thin and like almost flimsy in a way. I don't want to say flimsy because that's such a negative word, but it is, like, compared to something like this, like where this canvas is actually like, you could not like maneuver this canvas the same way you could with this. Like, look at how soft that is compared to this. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. And this little thing here actually retails for over $1,000 now. Like, this retails for 1,080 Australian dollars, which is crazy. Like, this compared to this is 2,500, this is 1,000. Like, I would rather save a little bit more money, even though it's like double the price, but I would rather save a bit more, get this really gorgeous, well-made handbag from Louis Vuitton rather than this tiny mini pochette. Like, I know these are really popular and I have raved on about my mini pochette for a really long time. Like, ever since I started my YouTube channel, I've done different ways to wear it, different ways to style it, different things that fits inside, and it is such a great little catch-all, little handbag, little just everything, like really versatile. But for $1,000, I just don't think it's worth it. I purchased this back halfway through 2020 for 485 Australian dollars, and that was a lot of money back then for this. But for $1,000, I think that's just daylight robbery. Sorry for like the little tangent here, but I just wanted to let you guys know, like, do not pay $1,000 for this tiny little bag. It's just honestly not worth it. If you guys want to see like a more in-depth review of what I think is worth and what not worth it from Louis Vuitton now, definitely let me know in the comment section below, because I have a lot of opinions on it. But yeah, I just don't think this is worth 1,000 Australian dollars. This is 2,500, and I definitely think that this is still worth it. Just the way it's made, everything about it, all like the detailing to it is just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, anyway, back to this. So yeah, the one thing I noticed with the canvas obviously is that it is a little bit more thicker. Like, it just feels more luxurious, like what the Louis Vuitton I knew back then was, like this really nice luxurious canvas. And then the second thing I wanted to point out was the handles and like the leather on the bottom here. It's all very matte now. So I did bring my Louis Vuitton Speedy, this is the 30 size, and you'll notice that the handles here, these are very shiny. It's not because I've like used it a lot or anything. It just came like this kind of rolled handle here. It was always like this shiny leather versus this kind of matte leather. I think over time, as I use this, I imagine that this might get shiny, just like with the oils of my hands, like holding it all the time. I imagine this might get shiny, but yeah, even like the bottom of it, you can see how shiny that is compared to this leather. And another thing with the canvas, I noticed that this canvas is actually lighter than this. Like, I don't know if you can see on camera. Yeah, it looks a bit, this has more like an orange undertone to it, and I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't know why that's the case. This is probably almost 10 years old, like almost 10 years. yeah, probably like maybe 8 years old now. So over time you can see that Louis Vuitton canvas has changed, as well as the leather. And this has like the little puffiness. I don't know if the older Louis Vuitton Alma BBs had like puffiness here, but I do prefer like the puffiness. I like the way that looks versus the really flat look there, but I do prefer this canvas rather than this canvas. I don't know if it's just because I've had it for a long time, or it's not like it sits out in the sun or anything. I have it in my closet, but yeah, look at the canvas difference. Like, I thought that was really interesting. I did also bring my Neverfull, so the iconic trio here. So I've got the Alma, the Neverfull, and my Speedy. I have the whole trifecta in my eyes. Like, they're not exactly the same, but they're the classic trifecta in my opinion. This is a little bit more similar. It has a bit of like orange undertone, but it's not like, this is like complete brown undertone. This is like an orangey brown color. And same with this, like the leather on this is also really shiny compared to the new Damier Ebene pieces now that Louis Vuitton make. It's all like this matte leather. So at first I wasn't a huge fan of the matte leather. Like when I saw videos online and like people unboxing the Alma, I just didn't like the look of it. I just think that it kind of dulled the bag a little bit and made it look more like susceptible to seeing scratches on it. But I think comparing it to like the shiny leather here, this just looks a lot more worn, and obviously it is a lot more worn, but you can tell it's kind of like aged a lot more just because the shininess, it just doesn't look as luxurious as like this matte leather. I just think this is beautiful now. Like the matte leather has really grown on me. So yeah, those were the two observations that I made with the leather and the canvas. So now getting into why I purchased this bag. One of the reasons you guys know already is because of the history of the bag. I've always wanted this bag because I just think it's such an elegant nod to Chanel and also Louis Vuitton. It's such a timeless piece in their collection, and I just wanted to kind of have all three of the classic pieces from Louis Vuitton in my collection. I just wanted to purchase it sooner rather than later before Louis Vuitton have more price increases this year, because I know they will, and this would just keep going up and up. So another reason why I purchased it in the Damier Ebene print rather than any of the other prints or the other leathers is obviously because the Damier Ebene is very carefree. You can wear it in the rain, and especially in this colorway. I think it's a very like winter autumn kind of bag because of that beautiful color. But even with like a summer dress like this, like a white summer dress, I think it still goes with it. I think it's really beautiful even just like that. So you can definitely wear it all seasons. And yeah, I don't have to worry about the vachetta leather like I would with the monogram canvas, because with the monogram canvas, all of this part here is all vachetta leather, and that just freaks me out. There's like too much vachetta leather to worry about, especially because that part will be touching the surfaces of everything. That just kind of worries me. And also because all my other classic bags here, the Speedy and the Neverfull, are in the Damier Ebene, I thought if I'm going to get the trifecta of like the three classics, I should keep them all the same prints. So yeah, that was another reason why. I did also eye the Louis Vuitton Alma BB in the epi leather, the black epi leather one, or the noir epi leather, and I think the epi leather versions of the Alma BBs are so beautiful, and they're actually not that much more than the canvas print. So I think for value for money, if you're looking for a leather handbag, definitely look into the epi leather. But the reasons why I didn't go down that route or get the epi leather one, or the black one especially, is because I already have my Givenchy Antigona mini here. So this, you can see they're very like similar sizes. This one obviously is slightly bigger, like a bit more boxier, but they're very similar. Like the top handle, they both have like a crossbody or shoulder strap, and this also has silver hardware. So with the Louis Vuitton epi leather, they actually come with silver hardware too. So I thought that was just like too similar in my collection. And with the Alma BB styles, I just love the gold hardware on it. Like you can see how shiny and beautiful that gold hardware is on the Alma BB, and especially against like the brown canvas of the Damier Ebene print. I just think the gold just stands out so beautifully, and it just looks so nice. So yeah, that was the reason why I didn't go with the black epi leather Alma BB. They also have like a really pretty like pink, I think it's the rose ballerine pink in epi leather, but again, that is very similar to my Chanel Square Mini there, and that is also in silver hardware. So I just thought it was just too similar. I did also look at like the other epi leathers, like the blue, but they come with like the thick guitar strap now, which I'm not a huge fan of. I just much prefer like having a thin strap like this. I just think it adds to the elegance of this bag. So yeah, they were the reasons why I decided to go with the Damier Ebene print. So now getting into some of the things to look out for when you are purchasing the Alma BB. So the very first thing that I noticed right off the bat when I unboxed it was that the luggage tag that it came with, this actually came on the bag itself. So I don't know if it happened during like shipping, or it must be like a manufacturer like issue, because as you can see here, you can see that it's all wrinkled and it looks like it's been like hit with like water or something. But even with Damier Ebene leather, like the treated leather, even if water hits it, it doesn't usually make that kind of wrinkling. Like, it's pretty weatherproof, and that's what I love about the Damier Ebene prints and what everyone loves about the Damier Ebene prints. Because of that treated leather, you can wear it in the rain and you don't have to worry about the leather staining or like marking up or anything. So I just thought that was really odd that that would kind of wrinkle up. I thought maybe this was like a return or something and something happened to it and the person that had it returned it, because I did actually purchase this online. I don't think I mentioned that, but I purchased it online because it was only a couple of days before the price increase at Louis Vuitton, and the lines at Louis Vuitton were just insane. Like, they were so long, and I just didn't want to be waiting like an hour in line just to see if they had it in stock or not. And who knows if they had it in stock, because everyone probably would have been buying everything, so the store would have been like empty. So I saw that it was available online, and so I just pulled the trigger and just purchased it online. And I thought, worst case, if it doesn't work out, if something's wrong with it, I can always just exchange it online or return it, because the exchange and return process is much better online versus in store. And yeah, that was the very first thing that I noticed with the Alma BB. When I saw the luggage tag, I just thought that is not normal, how that kind of leather kind of pulls like that, and it looks like almost like water damage, but it's like not. Like, the other side is like perfectly fine. The actual tag itself is fine, and I inspected every part of the bag here. So what I looked out for was like the handles here, making sure that it's not like super wrinkled or anything. There is a little bit of wrinkling, but that's very normal, like, because they've obviously had to like fold it in to sew it in place. That's all normal. There's no scuffs on these parts here. I think that's an area you need to keep an eye out for. And also the bottom of the bag, like the base of it, make sure that nothing is scratched underneath, like there's no marks or anything or scuffs on the corners. These are key areas to look out for. Or even if you're looking to purchase preloved on the preloved market, just keep an eye out for any like scuffs on the corners. But this was just perfect. Everything about this bag was perfect. The hardware is super shiny. There's no chipping to it at all. And also make sure that the zipper is smooth. So I just love the zipper. Like, there's something satisfying about it. And I don't know, like, I'm a bit embarrassed to admit this or like say this, but whenever I feel like a little bit stressed, like especially because I work from home now, whenever I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed or stressed, I tend to just get this bag out and just like zip and unzip it, and I just find that really therapeutic. Are you guys like that too? Like, please let me know I'm not alone on this. I totally understand if I am, but there's just something about it that just makes me, it's like super satisfying. Yeah, I just love the really smooth zippers on Louis Vuitton bags, but especially the Alma bag. I don't know, there's something about it. It's like tough, but it's still smooth. Like, you need to put a bit of like the friction in it. Like, you do need a little bit of effort. It's kind of like, I think I mentioned in a previous video like a while ago when I talked about my mini pochette. There's something about that noise I love too. I know people hate that noise, but I just love it. Like, yeah, I just get really like satisfied and like happy about that. But yeah, anyway, back to the bag itself. So yeah, keep an eye out for the zipper as well. Make sure it's smooth like that. Inside, there's not really anything to worry about. Of course, make sure that it's clean. It's not like a return where someone's used it. But yeah, everything else, there's pocket here is quite small. Like, it's quite a flat pocket. You can probably fit like credit cards and things in there, but not like a phone or anything like that, just something really slim. But yeah, there's nothing else in there. So I think the main areas to look out for are just like the leather parts, like especially because it's matte, you can see scratches really clearly. And also the leather luggage tag or the key clochette that it comes with. Because this was like all wrinkled up like that, maybe it would be the same with the strap, but the strap is actually perfect. There's no like scuffs on this or anything. Like, it's actually perfect. Like, I could not see any fault with it. Even like where it's sewn together there, you can see it's like really smooth. That's another area to look out for. Sometimes this can kind of like stick up a little bit, and then over time that will peel. So if that's kind of sticking up a little bit, even when you first get it, definitely take it back in store and see what they can do, or see if you can get a replacement on that, because that is smooth, like you can't even like pick at it or anything. Make sure that the edges along, just run your fingers along the sides here to make sure there's no like sharp parts of like the leather sticking out. But yeah, this is just like perfect. Don't have to worry about that, like especially if you're wearing it on like a kind of like a delicate material. If you're wearing it across the body or on the shoulder, you don't want, if there's any like parts of the leather sticking out or like sharp, you don't want it snagging on your clothing. So that's an area to look out for. But yeah, the only area that I noticed was just this luggage tag here, which is pretty easy. I just took it back in store. I made an appointment because it was still around the time where, like just before the price increase, so the lines were like insane, and I really wanted to take it back, but I didn't want to wait. So I actually went onto the Louis Vuitton website and just made a booking online. It was super easy, and I just walked straight up to the front of the line where the concierge was, and I just said, hey, I have a booking at this time, my name's this. And yeah, they just walked me straight into the boutique. So that was really easy. So that's another tip, just make sure you book online. So yeah, I took this luggage tag in, and I was a bit nervous at first. I was like, oh, they're gonna say like it's totally normal, it's leather, like obviously when you bend it, it's gonna like do that. But I just was not comfortable keeping a brand new handbag and paying over $2,000 for it to have like all this wrinkling on this key clochette. So I took it in, and the essay that helped me was so lovely. She was so sweet. At first she was kind of looked at it and she's like, oh, leather kind of does that, like and then I was like, no, like look at it carefully. Like look at it carefully. I don't think it's supposed to like bubble and like look like that, especially when it's brand new. And she's like, oh, was it on the bag when you got it? And I was like, yeah, it was. And she's like, let me take it out back and like speak to a manager to see if it's like something they can help with or if it's normal and I just have to kind of live with it. But she came back and she was like, that's totally fine. Like we inspected it and we can tell it's like an issue with when it got manufactured or made. She's like, yeah, we can definitely replace it for you. The only thing is we're gonna have to like get it from Singapore and they're gonna have to ship it over. So it may take a few weeks for it to arrive. But she's like, in the meantime, feel free to keep using it. You can use it on your bag. Just do whatever you want with it. And when the new one comes in, we can just replace it on the spot for you. So I was like, oh, that is like awesome. Like I was like so nervous that they were like, no, that's normal, you just have to live with it. So yeah, I'm really happy with the service there. And overall, I'm really happy with the Alma BB. Everything else about the bag is just perfect, as you saw here. Like everything is just immaculate. Before I leave you, I just wanted to show you guys how it looks with the lock on. So I've just got the lock here and I'll just take the keys to unlock it. So it's really easy, obviously just like a little lock, which is super fun. It's like a little like, I don't know, it just makes using your handbags a lot more fun, having these like little accessories and add-ons to it. And so all I do is just actually want to put it, which side do I want to put it on? So remember the stamp is on this side. So if I'm holding on my left hand, it should be outwards. So I'll hook this on to the bottom part here. So here you can see, well, that's another thing I want to show you guys. So how you lock it is, see how like the two zipper pulls, there's two little circles, and with the zipper pull, there's actually like a hole in it, and that actually loops into the hole. So as you can see there, it's actually over it. So you can actually lock the bag. So for example, if I was to put the lock in there, I'm not going to actually lock it, but I'll show you guys. If I put this lock in it, I can't actually open the bag anymore because the lock is in place. So I thought that was a really, like that little nifty feature is really cute. And then you can also have the little key clochette if you just kind of like loop it in here. It kind of just like sticks like that, and I think that is super cute. Another thing I wanted to mention, sorry, I just keep thinking of things that I wanted to show you guys. There's like a little red felt or like little red material there. It's kind of like to stop or prevent things from falling out because it is that dome shape. If that little part wasn't there, I imagine like the bag could open up a lot wider and things could just kind of fall out on the side. So it's kind of like protected there. So it really only is up to about there. They can really feel it too. I know that some people, when they stuff it all, it kind of gets a bit all wonky and everything. So I might do a separate video of like what fits inside and everything like that and what I recommend. So yeah, that's an overview and my first impressions of the Louis Vuitton Alma BB. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful in some way, or if you guys aren't even thinking about purchasing the Alma BB, I hope you found a new appreciation for it. But yeah, that's all for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. But yeah, until next time, take care and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!